Hi, this is Lisa Rangel with Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about 3 tips to keep viewers reading your LinkedIn profile. Now, these tips can help you whether you're an executive, whether you're a mid-level professional, or even just starting out. So I want to make sure that you take these tips, apply them, and this way, as people come to your profile, you will be better optimized and your profile will be improved in order to keep the reader on your profile. Because let's face it, the longer on your profile, you're increasing the chances of them reaching out to you for that interview. So the first tip is to keep in mind as you're writing your profile, every section, to utilize the rule for resumes of keeping readers engaged in that 6 to 15 second increment. Now, you probably have heard of the rule or the observation or the study that numerous people have done over the years, where a resume is read, by recruiters and for 6 seconds or 15 seconds. There's various studies, various philosophies upon it. And it comes down to the fact that, people glance, right? People scan things as they're reading them. And I have always been a firm believer that that is not unique to resumes, and that applies to LinkedIn profile. So make sure you are writing your LinkedIn profile with the idea that you need to keep that reader engaged in 6 to 15 second increments. So you need to have an engaging title under your name. You need to have an engaging summary. You need to have an engaging employment section, and so on. So just in general, approach your document with the strategy of you need to keep the reader interested in 6 to 15 second increments so they can be motivated to keep scrolling. So that's one way to keep a reader on your profile and incentivizing them to keep reading, because you're giving them interesting content that they're going to want to keep digesting by scrolling down the page. So that's number one. The second tip for keeping viewers reading your LinkedIn profile is speak in first person. So many of us are used to corporate speak on websites and biographies and white papers. And when we come on a LinkedIn profile, generally speaking, you're going to want to humanize your content. Speak about your achievements, speak about what your interests are, speak about your vision and your mission that you want to bring to the next employer that you work for, and what you do for your current employer. But I encourage you to speak in a first person for the most part, and this way people can see you as human, and it's more interesting, and you're going to, odds are, keep the reader engaged, and they're going to be continually reading your profile. The third tip to keeping the viewer reading your profile is to make sure that you add projects, publications, projects that you've done in each of the different sections of the profile. So you can add projects, articles, different things that you've done, white papers, to the featured section of your LinkedIn profile. You can add items to the employment section of your LinkedIn profile. There's projects and publication sections within your profile. So I would encourage you, wherever possible, to use these add-ons that you can put into each section, because it engages the reader to want to click on it, to see what you've done, see what work you've done. And again, it motivates them to keep reading, keeps them on the profile longer. And I just believe that if you are keeping someone on the profile longer, you're increasing the odds of them wanting to learn more, reach out to you, and have a conversation. So those are 3 tips that you can use to keep a viewer continually reading your LinkedIn profile. And if you would like to learn how to get people to your profile, you're going to want to join me for my next How to Write Your LinkedIn Profile to Generate 6-Figure Interviews seminar. We're going to have that. You can register down below. It's free, and I'm going to cover how you can engage, how you can get people to your profile, so then you can apply these 3 tips and they will further engage you, and how to write your profile. So this way you're better optimized, again, to get those eyeballs, get those readers to your profile. That's the goal we all have, because until you're bringing the right people to your profile, there's nothing to talk about. So let's bring people to your profile so then they can be interested in you and reach out to you for interviews. So make sure you join me. Again, you can register in the description is the link below. And if you find this information to be helpful for someone else, I'm going to ask you to share it. If you've liked it yourself, I'm going to ask you to like it. If you haven't registered, if you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, I'm going to ask you to subscribe so you don't miss next week's session. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below the description there, or email me at lr@chameleonresumes.com, because I read and reply to every email and every comment. So I look forward to seeing you on the next training session, and have a great day. Take good care.